Shalom. My name is Yehoshua ben Avraham. This video is being made from Jerusalem. It comments upon Barack Obama's speech where he takes on McCain and Bush, but in particular the specious remarks made in the Knesset. I live in Jerusalem for 22 years. I'm a didactic scientist, an American citizen. I'm the author of Humanomics trilogy. And what is the Humanomics trilogy? It is the post-collapse to the local reality convergence model. I want to say that it is a paradigm shift that we're looking at in this world. What's going on? What is the context? Bush is asleep. He's like a little kid walking around in short pants when he's not lushing it up with booze, while Dick Cheney ran the White House for 8 years to the peril and disgrace of all America. As an example, Halliburton record revenues of $15.3 billion in 2007, and get this, $3.5 billion in net profits. That means gross profits of about 47%. $3.5 billion in profits. The former chief executive is none other than Mr. Cheney. He's not my vice president, folks, but okay, let's get on with change is coming. And what is the change? The fundamental and structural change that is needed in America is in the economy. It needs a national platform development strategy to develop, acculturate, implement, and acculturate the new economic paradigm as world-class global technological infrastructure. Why? It'll create tens of millions of sustainable domestic content jobs. It'll require about a $5 trillion investment, which can be amortized over 20 years. 60% of that investment will come from the G9, strategically partnering in its development. I'm the author of Humanomics, which is the convergence model, East-West convergence model for the post-collapse of the local reality. The most incredible phenomenon an event in the world is the collapse of the local reality. Why? Because it ends the modern era and takes us into the ascent of the postmodern era. And what does that mean specifically? It means the convergence of secular humanists with spiritual traditionalists. It means redemption to the religious. It means the transformation of the behavioral mammal to a cognitive being that inhabits the divine plan of man. Science has recently discovered the non-local reality through Bell's theorem and its inequality, demonstrated by John Stuart Bell. He died in the early 1990s, an Irishman. By the way, Yehoshua, that's me. I used to be Michael O'Donnell. I was born and raised Michael O'Donnell. My mother, being Jewish, I've returned home. Okay, I live here for 20 years, 22 years to be precise. And when I came here, I wasn't very cooperative with the political gulag of the Bolshevik Central Committee, then in sense. It's a non-starter with me. I'm an American patriot, and the propositions that were being pushed on me and hoisted upon me have not been allowed. I've been denied identity papers here, so I'm not allowed to work. So I should be kept on the back foot because people want to gain control of my intellectual property, which happens to be a strategic asset of America. And when and if the President of the United States and the Secretary of State sign an agreement with Israel that says it can be developed and in an environment where they can get their hands on it, fine, I agree then. But in the otherwise I don't. They sequestered my lift in Haifa, 9-room house. They've robbed and pillaged and beaten the crap out of me because I wouldn't join their Bolshevik nonsense. Okay, their agenda for me was another Pollard scam. No, thank you, folks. And so that's where. But change is coming, and the change that's coming is humanomics in general, and the new economic paradigm, the integration of labor in particular. It will take America from a 14 trillion gross domestic product to 45 to 50 trillion. It will triple the purchasing power of the dollar. having doubled it by about years 8 and 9 of the project. It will be creating at the end of year 1 tens of thousands of sustainable domestic content jobs a month. It will eliminate the national debt. It will eliminate the Social Security deficit. It will eliminate the trade deficit. It will provide with the out years from years 12 to 20, where it's amortized fully, massive surpluses, multi-trillion-dollar surpluses to achieve these things that I've just articulated, and as well fund comprehensive national insurance from cradle to grave. It will provide for college education for every American wanting one, free. It will retool, re-educate, and retrain the entire American workforce. The new economic paradigm model is the integration of labor, replacing the division of labor. It identifies information in classical terms as the new agent of transformation, and it develops the 4 sub-enabling technology models in the context of world-class global technological infrastructure that will make America the most competitive economy in the world for the century ahead. This is a win-win situation, and the massive surpluses in the out years will allow for a significant increase in foreign aid to the LDCs so that illiteracy and poverty and disease can be eliminated. It's a win-win situation. This is what this is the road of service that I took. I came up to Israel for personal religious reasons. I suffered the unfortunate experience of discovering that I had an Iraqi oil well. That's a good analogy. What do I mean? Humanomics in general and its 2 paradigms, receive and give, which is its central organizing principle, which is also the new first principle of cognitive behavioral science, and the new economic paradigm, the integration of labor that replaces the old division of labor model. Those intellectual properties combined and taken to the market would generate a market cap in the range of hundreds of billions of dollars. And that's a lot of hyperbole, I'm told. Seeing I'm the owner, of course you'd say that. Well, how about Warren Buffett? Let's try that one on for size, folks. And there's a few other people in the same category that have the same opinion. Okay, it's a win-win situation, but far more importantly, Barack Obama, you got to lead from the front. America has to lead from the front. We got to go 3 for 3 from the 3-point line. We got to pitch a shutout. No, we got to pitch a no-hitter, and et cetera, et cetera. We gotta knock the dude out in the first round. And the fact that the cat started scratching your eyes. Here, let's see. What's the history? It started out with your competitor there. First, they tried to steal the nomination. Second, they tried to buy it. Third, they've tried to elbow their way to the table. And fourth, an implicit call for your assassination. Pathetic. Look, you see what you're up against, and prepare yourself, because it's only been softball up to this point. You're going to be playing hardball real soon. And you got to have at the center of your campaign not a tremendous bubbles and crowds and tremendous enthusiasm. It's wonderful, and you've got the world's attention. You got to have tactless. You got to have that means the bottom line, the substance, the beef in the sandwich. Humanomics in general is the East-West convergence model. It's where I had a father and a mother. One was a secular humanist, my dad, and the other was a traditional spiritualist. Those 2 modalities of intellectual and spiritual development have converged, and their son, Michael O'Donnell, who's now Yehoshua Yaakov. I came up to Israel to develop that science and technology, and when I was told the only employer of last resort was the government of Israel, and I saw that what we're dealing with here is a bunch of communists that have been facelifted to socialists, and their obsession with control and their basic lack of ethics and morality, I said, it's a non-starter, not me. Okay, so it's going to get done, it's going to go forward, and we just have to change a few little details. And it's been a pretty big punch up here, but thank God, Baruch Hashem, things are now starting to work out. I'm Yehoshua Yaakov. Thank you for listening. I'm the author of Humanomics. I wish you kabel b'shilatet. That's the blessing of receive to give. Thank you for listening. Shalom.